exceptional work and dedication towards building our community here at Cuesta College. The Alpha Gamma Sigma, the Alpha Gamma Sigma Honor Society derived its name from the Greek words arete nos saphrosine, which means excellence, knowledge, and wisdom. It was founded in 1926, incorporated under California law in 1940, and was established with the intent to foster, promote, and recognize outstanding scholarship. AGS encourages participation in community service and demonstrates student success in its involvement with the community through various outreach, nonprofit, and fundraising events. Today, AGS continues to honor the tradition of the past with events like this one that set precedents for students of tomorrow. The excellence of instructors we are honoring here tonight has been recognized not only by Alpha Gamma Sigma, but also by our elected officials. In addition to the AGS award, each teacher honored tonight will also receive one certificate of outstanding achievement from Congressman Lois Capps and another from Assemblyman Kacho Ashajian. Sorry about that. I would now like to introduce President Gil Stork. If you would please come up here to the podium.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bradford. You look pretty nice.
Try.
You tried. Well, there's no greater honor for faculty than to hear from their students and to be recognized by students as a symbol of excellence in their life. Over the last several weeks, I've been interviewing a lot of faculty for this college, both tenure-track faculty positions as well as full-time temporary positions. And one of the questions that I ask these faculty candidates is to think back as a student and think about one or two individuals, teachers that they had that left a lasting impact on them and what that impact was. Within seconds, every teacher has that, or that candidate has that person in mind. Today, I've been interviewing two pools of faculty, and it just never ceases to amaze me. You know, everything from a graduate professor to today was a first grade teacher. But that was the person who had the lasting impact on somebody now in their 40s applying for a permanent position, of what that teacher did when that individual was 6 years old, that saw something in her and was able to channel that talent and give that student encouragement that has never left her mind as she's gone through the development of being a teacher. And if I ask every one of the teachers here today right now who that person in your mind is, you're thinking of that individual right now. You know? We all have that special person. And what the students are doing here tonight is really reaffirming the power and the influence of teachers over students and the value added that that teacher gives a student besides the discipline in which they find themselves in that classroom. So I really commend Alpha Gamma Sigma for taking the time to do this very, very important gesture, and that is to seek out, nominate, and really examine your experience as a student, to single out individuals who have had an impact, who have made a difference in how you perceive yourself as a person, how you may have changed your mind about your discipline, or it may have influenced you about a career choice, or where you want to channel your talents in the future. And there's no greater gift that you can give a teacher than that thank you and that recognition of the impact that they had on your life. I look over the list of honorees tonight. Every Monday I have lunch with Praveen's wife. Now, don't get any wrong ideas. It's a very good thing. She's in the same Rotary Club that I happen to be in. And I get to hear her perspective about Praveen and his passion for teaching chemistry. And so I get to hear a side of what I don't necessarily see, and Praveen and I don't run into each other that often, but I know through his wife and others that come into contact how he responds to his profession. I had the unique privilege in these last 4 years to hire Elizabeth Lobo in biological sciences. And that's one of the gifts that I have as a president. I get to hire and make that final decision on all tenure-track faculty. And I learned so much about Elizabeth and how she sees her role as a teacher. And what struck me most about Elizabeth was the answer to a question that I ask all faculty in that role is, I asked her, I first preface, I said, I am not interested in faculty who see their job as just teaching, as just doing what's on their job description. I'm looking for somebody who's going to make a difference at Cuesta College for the short term and the long term. I want somebody to see how they can reshape the experience for students. And her answer to my question, which is, what kind of a legacy would you see yourself leaving at Cuesta College? What kind of an impact player would you like to be? And her response to that had to do with someday she would like to be recognized by students that we select as our honored alums who come back in January and address our particular faculty and staff saying, one of the people that changed my life was Elizabeth Lobo. And that was her image of having that long-term impact on students. And for me, that was the deal breaker. That was it. That solidified in my mind that this is the kind of person that I want, working here at Cuesta College and interfacing with our students. I'm also glad to see 2 math faculty in here, since that's my discipline, and I taught mathematics for 46 years. And there's no greater gift or challenge than being a good math teacher. And so Jody and Joe, they both couldn't be here tonight, but I'm sorry about that. And I'm glad to see Chris Neelson on the list. Chris is a part-time faculty member, and it's not very often that we see part-time faculty being recognized. But I've known Chris for a long time. He's been a friend of my family over the years. My kids and he and his brother and sister have been good friends, and he's just been reunited with San Luis Obispo and back to Cuesta College. And then Aaron Rodrigues, I used to hear really good stories about Aaron Rodrigues because one of my daughters was in Aaron's class. And so I got to hear from her experience about his ability and his excellence in his teaching when she was here at Cuesta College. So I am not surprised to see this list of people here, because they are part of that group of individuals that make up one of the finest faculties in the state of California. And what keeps driving us back into the forefront of excellence is the quality of faculty that we place before our students, because that is what makes the difference. When you walk around our campus, you think, wow, this is a beautiful place. But we do everything that every other campus does. We teach math and English, we have counseling and so on. But what makes the difference about this institution are the people. The people that deliver services and programs and instruction to our students. And the students here today, I hope you really realize how important what you've just done is, because number one, you've stepped out and you've honored faculty that deserve it, but also you've set a bar for yourself about what excellence is. And so as you continue your educational journey, I hope that this bar forces you to challenge faculty that come after Cuesta College and say, you could be a much better university professor if you could be like a Cuesta College teacher. Because this is where you'll get your best teaching. And so enjoy every minute of it and take every advantage that you can. So I'm very proud of the faculty that we have here, and I'm very proud of our students, and especially AGS for taking the time to put on this event. And I know that we have a person here tonight who equally echoes my sentiments, and that's one of our trustees from our board, and that's Dr. Barbara George, who's here tonight. And I'm so glad that she is here to witness this really important gesture of connecting students and faculty together. So thank you for being here tonight, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what the faculty and the students have to say and watching some of the more shy people squirm as they have to be. I'm sorry, Anne. No, I didn't mean to mention you, but anyway, thank you again for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Stork. Okay, now what I'd like to do is introduce our executive cabinet members, starting in alphabetical order. Vice President of North County Campus, Skylar Streamlin. Vice President of SLO County Campus, Troy Gabriel. ICC Clubs Representative, James McMillan. Publicity Director, Daniel Cadwell. And our Treasurer, Zach Harris. Let's have one more round of applause for our ECAB members. Okay.
Hello, everyone. I would like to ask Dr. Praveen Babu to the stage, if you would please. Professor Babu teaches science here at Cuesta College. In answer to the question, what has this instructor done that is beyond, above and beyond normal expectations, an AGS member wrote, "A combination of clear instruction and humor has gone beyond my expectations to engage me in a subject that I never really enjoyed before. Another thing that goes beyond my expectations is how he can make good of a bad situation. For example, multiple times this semester, the lights have shut off in our classroom. Yet he is able to play it off and make it work, which I find truly exceptional." In answer to the question, in what way has this instructor influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College, an AGS member wrote, "Clear instruction with the occasional lap has influenced me to keep heading down the educational road because chemistry is not all black and white." Please join me in congratulating Professor Praveen Babu on his instructional excellence.
Absolutely. Well, first I have to say thank you and that I'm honored. And I think you'll hear that, everybody is honored, but I wanted to tell you exactly why I am honored. And I think the reason why I'm so honored to receive this is because it's from the students. I don't think the students, I hope, but I don't know that if they could truly realize how much joy they bring to an instructor when they show that they're excited about the material. I mean, I'm here because I'm excited about the material. That's fairly obvious. But and I should rephrase, I'm here at Cuesta because I'm excited about the material. But when you have a room full of students and hopefully, statistics are in your favor, one or two of them are going to get excited about chemistry, then to get that excitement and to see that excitement it brings such joy to me. And that's why, when I say that I'm honored, I really am honored that this award is coming from the students. That means a tremendous amount. So thank you very much.
Tonight, Denise McDonough will be receiving Lisha Duarte's award. Can we give Denise McDonough a round of applause for Lisha Duarte? Lisha Duarte teaches Spanish in the language department. In answer to the question, what has this instructor done that you consider above and beyond normal expectations? An AGS student wrote, Lisha Duarte has demonstrated the highest form of character as a teacher, advisor, and counselor. Her compassionate ideology stems from her experience and embodies a supreme level of tutelage. My story begins in Miss Duarte's Spanish class. From the start, I was dealing with medical issues. It seemed like life was putting me in submission, thwarting my ability to succeed. Shrouded in darkness, I realized that the light at the end of the tunnel was Miss Duarte extending her hand, and with it, a promise of hope. Indeed, at this moment, I knew success was within my grasp. While going to and from hospitals and being torn between elation and despair, Lisha was there to help me see me through her class. In answer to the question, in what way has this instructor influenced your success at Cuesta College? An AGS student wrote, I began Miss Duarte's Spanish class with no prior knowledge of the language and finished by walking away filled with culture and wisdom. She enabled me to not only learn a language for the first time, but she also made it an enjoyable learning experience. Even though learning a foreign language seemed daunting, I was able to maintain a positive mental attitude. The stresses of a class seemed to be transparent in her class, and I discovered that if I can learn something so abstract and foreign, that I could accomplish anything. She helped me tap into that potential that I never knew existed. More importantly, she showed me that learning can be enjoyable with simply adding a smile. This charismatic influence helped me realize that learning was more than just a grade. Es una experiencia, es una conversión, y es una sonrisa, y estoy merpeyo. And I believe translated that means it is an experience, it is a conversation, and it is a smile. And I'm thankful. So, all right. So I grabbed two. Sorry. Here you go.
Thank you so much. I did want to add that I couldn't agree more with you in your selection of Lisha Duarte. She is a wonderful woman, teacher, mentor. She works tirelessly for her students and obviously shows in your selection of Lisha. She has asked me to convey this to you. Lisha would like to take the opportunity to thank you for the invitation to Gamma chapter of Alpha Gamma Sigma at Cuesta College 3rd Annual Teacher Appreciation Night. She is honored to have been selected and to participate in this event. She has asked me, Denise McDonough, the division assistant, to accept this honor for her. She would like to ask that you please excuse her from not attending this event. To thank you, AGS, on her behalf, as well as her students, her divisional colleagues, in particular, other language instructors such as Ralph Sutter, Tony Rector-Cabanetto, Nancy Scherer, Susan Lloyd, Patrick Clayton, Betsy Dunn, and her divisional assistant, Denise McDonough, as well as other fellow language instructors who have shared ideas, substituted for her, and provide other kinds of support and assistance during these hard times. Her fellow colleagues have provided her with inspiration as well as practical ideas to improve upon teaching practice. Most of all, however, she would like to thank the students. It is all because of them, thanks to them, and for them. Thank you.
I would like to invite Professor Brian Kreowski to join me on the stage, please. Welcome. Professor Kreowski here teaches at the Political Science Department at Cuesta College. So when asked the question, what has this instructor done that is above and beyond normal expectations, an AGS member wrote, Dr. Kreowski has his students do a lot of work outside of the classroom. By doing this, we as students get more of a feel for what we are learning and how it relates to real-life situations. He is extremely passionate about what he does and makes each student think on their feet in order to bring out knowledge that the student might be afraid to bring up in class. When asked the question, in what way has this instructor influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College, an AGS member replied, he has made me want to learn more about school, and that by starting at a community college, you can go anywhere. Dr. Kreowski attended Cuesta College and later became a lawyer, so it gives me hope. In class, Dr. Kreowski taught us our rights as citizens and that it is important to be passionate about our education. Please join me in congratulating Professor Brian Kreowski on his instructional excellence.
I'd like to thank Alpha Gamma Sigma. You know, I've received a few awards over the years, and I'm involved in a few activities, but I have to tell you, as Gil Stork said at the outset, to be honored by your students. Gil saw me cry before when I got an award, but I got to tell you, it is a true honor. I've been honored by my colleagues. I'm a part-time instructor, and I've been honored by my colleagues, but to have your students recognize the importance of education, the excellence at this institution, as was mentioned, I am a Cuesta alum. Born in 1963, I'm as old as this institution. My son sits in the back. He didn't want me to mention him, but it's my hope one day that he will attend this institution and also be a part of this great tradition that we have and continue the legacy of excellence at Cuesta College, as I know these young people do today. And it's an honor to be here with all of my colleagues that are recognized for the same commitment and the same goals. Thank you.
I would like to invite Professor Elizabeth Lobo to the stage. Dr. Lobo teaches biological sciences. To answer the question, what has this instructor done that you consider above and beyond normal expectations, a student said, Dr. Lobo is a very genuine and polite person who made it very easy and pleasant to converse with. These attributes, I believe, have helped a number of timid students get through embarrassing subjects such as human anatomy, which usually prompts students to ask the question their friends experience. Although Dr. Lobo has been charged with teaching her students a plethora of advanced material in only an 18-week course, she never rushed through the subject and would not proceed if her students did not grasp the concept. During spring of 2013, Dr. Lobo unfortunately came upon a couple of unforeseen complications. However, despite her own difficult circumstances, she made sure that no student was left behind. She had her lectures and labs covered by another instructor and still personally graded coursework to ensure continuity. She encouraged students to reach her via email with any questions, making herself readily available to anyone who needed assistance in her absence. To answer the question, in what way has this instructor influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College, an AGS member wrote, I feel like she could sense that I was very passionate about my career. and was very excited for me as well. She told me on more than one occasion I was going to make a great healthcare provider. Dr. Lobo has, for the past 2 semesters, recommended me to the Student Success Center for a tutoring position for Biology 204 and 205. I have therefore volunteered my time at the center helping other students while gaining a deeper, more concrete understanding of myself. I am thankful to Dr. Lobo for showing her confidence in my abilities and for the knowledge I have gained in her classes. Please join me in a round of applause for Dr. Lobo.
It's a tremendous privilege to have the job that I have, but it's an extra special treat to be awarded this tonight. And like Praveen said, all of us are saying we're honored, and I truly am. I'm grateful for my students. I'm grateful for the feedback they give me. I'm grateful that they communicate with me their worries and their questions and challenge me and help me to improve. I'm grateful to my family because I couldn't achieve success without their support, even when a babysitter calls out. And for my children for being very well behaved when I need to do prep and when I'm talking and they're not listening, even now. Stop it. No, I'm kidding. And I'm also tremendously grateful for the support I get from my colleagues in our division. We have a great division chair in biology, and my other colleagues in the division, and my mentor, my faculty mentor, and all of my friends and colleagues at Cuesta for giving me the support and encouragement I need to improve as a new tenure track faculty member. So thank you for this great honor.
Before I call my honoree up, I'd like to first honor Dr. Gilbert as our advisor. This organization wouldn't be able to survive or do what it does without Dr. Gilbert behind us. He's a fantastic teacher and a fantastic advisor, so we just like, as the officers, to let him know that. Also, Professor Babu, we'd like you to know that we do realize how it feels when we see a lot of us tutor. And for the first time this year, I was able to experience that feeling when one of your people that you're teaching, a student, gets it. It's an amazing feeling. Okay. Could Professor Anna Maliszewski please come up? See, I pronounced it right, too. Yeah. In answer, Professor Maliszewski teaches in the Cuesta Biological Services Department. In answer to the question, what has the instructor done that is above and beyond normal expectations, an AGS member wrote. This AGS member wrote almost like 5 points that she wanted to bring up, and I picked one. Dr. Maliszewski is very straightforward and honest. I feel these qualities are unappreciated and are sometimes misconstrued. Dr. Maliszewski will tell you in all honesty what you are doing wrong or what needs to be changed if you ask her. She does not waste her or your valuable time to sugarcoat a matter and will recommend a course of action if the situation calls for it. She is able to do all this while making you feel heard and respected. I feel it is a great mannerism that is necessary to help students be successful in this area of a study, and that's why I picked it. Because I know that's hard to balance it. And in answer to the question, what way has this instructor influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College? This AGS member wrote, Dr. Maliszewski's class was the most difficult and complex course I have taken at Cuesta College, and also one of the most rewarding. I worked hard and studied so many hours that you wouldn't believe me if I told you how many. During this course, I learned how resilient and determined I truly am. I feel like I really earned the grade that I obtained in this class, more so than others I have received. The fast-paced nature and complexity of this course has prepared me for my future workload, and now I have the study techniques needed to be successful on my laborious journey. Dr. Maliszewski said something to me once that I will remember for a long time to come. One day after learning I had received a 97% on a particularly hard exam, I said to her, "You just made my day." To which Dr. Maliszewski responded, "I didn't do anything. You earned the grade. I don't go around giving A's." And she was right. I did deserve it. I realized then that nobody was going to give me anything. However, I could earn everything I wanted. I again am very grateful to Dr. Maliszewski for all of the knowledge, course, and life related that I have gained during my time in her class. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Maliszewski on her instructional excellence. And I was honored to be able to do that for you.
Well, as Dr. Stork pointed out, I don't like getting up in front of groups. Now, I know that's hard to believe of an instructor, right? It's a different issue being up here. Being in my classroom, I'm talking about my absolute favorite thing in the world. And so it's easy to be up in front of a group in that regard. Accepting an honor like this, it's humbling. What's touching is everything that was just read, I could have written about my favorite instructor. So I'm glad that my students, some of my students, appreciate having the standard set really high, because the ones who achieve it will realize so much about themselves in that achievement. When they can realize what they can do, then I've taught the way I want to teach. And I try to be very straightforward. I try to not bring in too much gray into the classroom so that the student does realize that what they earn, they earned. And I don't give out grades. And I thank you for nominating me for this. I really appreciate it. And as has been said by other instructors here, to get an honor from students is just a remarkable experience. And thank you very much.
Our next honoree is Professor Jodi Meyer, who teaches in the Cuesta College Mathematics Department. Professor Meyer couldn't be with us tonight, but accepting the award on her behalf is Dean of Sciences, Math, Health, Sciences, and Athletics, just to name a few, Brett Clark. Professor Meyer teaches in the Cuesta College Mathematics Department. In answer to the question, what has this instructor done that is above and beyond normal expectations, an AGS member wrote, "I find that a math teacher that starts every class with a smile is quite exceptional and worthy of recognition. Starting class in that fashion makes the material feel more captivating and receptive. Another thing is her amazing availability and tutoring skills. Her dedication to students' success is what makes this instructor worthy of recognition. In answer to the question, in what way has this instructor influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College, an AGS member wrote, "Taking each lesson in stride with a smile has influenced me to the point where I think high-level mathematics is actually possible for me to learn, which gives me a lot of personal confidence." Please join me in congratulating Professor Meyer on her instructional excellence.
Hello, everyone. I spoke to Jodi Meyer this morning, and I had mentioned that I was really too bad that she was unable to attend this evening, but you really need to know why she is unable to attend. She's teaching 2 classes this evening that would be blocked by this event, and so she is doing what you all are honoring this evening by maintaining and being true to her students. So I can't say enough about Jodi. She's a phenomenal instructor. She sets an unbelievably comfortable tone in her classroom. She's able to have students be lighthearted enough to kind of laugh at their own mistakes. I heard one student get his exam back, and he was looking at it, and he started laughing. She said, "Well, what's wrong with it? Why are you laughing?" And he said, very loudly in the class, "I forgot the square root of 1." And the rest of the class laughed along with him, and it was that kind of an environment, that comfort, that I think is really remarkable and makes her an outstanding teacher. So I will give her this award, and I know she's very touched and thanks you all very much.
I would like to invite Professor Christopher Neelson to the stage. Professor Neelson teaches in the history department here at Cuesta College, and when asked the question, what has this instructor done that is beyond and above the normal expectations of a teacher, an AGS member replied, "Dr. Neelson is a teacher who you can tell loves the subject he talks about. His lectures are much more less lectures and more of discussions involving the entire class. Even though Dr. Neelson teaches a night class on campus, on a campus he is not on, and doesn't have a standing office, he makes it a point to be available to his students should they need him. Dr. Neelson also has the ability to keep his mind and opinions open to change. If a student were to propose an argument that is different from what Dr. Neelson might believe, he hears this student out and gives weight to that argument. This respect he shows to his students is different from experiences I've had with other instructors and sets Dr. Neelson apart." In answer to the question, in what way has this instructor influenced your success as a student here at Cuesta College, an AGS member wrote, "Throughout his class, writing is a constant. All of his tests are essays that involve critically analyzing primary documents related to his lectures, and this helps increase my writing skill, but also gives me a glimpse into what an actual historian might be doing. The mini thesis he assigns over the course of the semester also helps to prepare me for a university-level writing assignment and project that I might have to do in the future. Please join me in congratulating Professor Christopher Neelson on his instructional excellence."
Thank you. Thanks AGS and everybody for being here. And it's true, I do teach a night class, and it starts in about a minute, right around the corner. As the other instructors here have explained, I'm deeply honored and excited, and it's wonderful to be recognized for what we do. And I can't explain enough how much this affects me. It deeply affects me to receive this award, because it does come from the students, and you know, we do this because we love the students. And one thing I would add to, you know, besides echoing the comments of my colleagues tonight, one thing I would add is that what I love about teaching is interacting with students who also teach me things. You know, we learn so much from our students. And so that interaction is not just one way. And I've talked to so many of my colleagues who feel the same way as I do, that we're so rewarded and so lucky to be doing this. And I just wanted to thank all of my students as well, along with my family, for supporting me on this. Thank you very much.
So I'm glad I found my Q&A card. I didn't have to be so extemporaneous this time. I would like to ask Professor Rodrigues to join me on the stage, please. Professor Rodrigues teaches political science. And in answering to the question, what has this instructor done that you consider above and beyond normal expectations? An AGS student wrote, "Mr. Rodrigues is passionate about teaching students. He removes the stigma that often becomes a paradigm for marginalizing student success and subjugating one's overall performance. This is revealed through his compassionate wisdom, selfless service. He excels at focusing on the merits of academia and continues to show his exemplary skills as both a Renaissance man and a student of enlightenment. His dedication for teaching students is illuminated when they walk out of his class each day feeling encouraged not to ask why, but rather, why not? Helping his students explore the arena of life by instructing them how to see the world in a different lens is characteristic of a man who is beyond reproach. As Thomas Jefferson once coined the phrase, the only thing guaranteed in life is death and taxes. I say the only thing guaranteed in life is Mr. Rodrigues and a top-notch education. In answering the question, in what way has this instructor influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College, an AGS student wrote, his introduction of the Socratic method made me strive towards the highest level of academic achievement. This has enabled me to think outside the box and critically analyze every decision or question that I encounter. It has helped me achieve a higher standard of success and inspired me to exceed beyond the limitations set down before me. His ability to energize a classroom with a wealth of seamlessly never-ending knowledge has brought learning to new heights in my life. It is his stylized instruction that has encouraged my growth as a student and brought value to my life as a person. I often recount a video that portrayed a law student struggling to be at the top of his class, always trying to anticipate the professor's next move. But every turn, the professor found new ways to challenge the student's abilities. At first, the student felt that success was impossible, a frivolous pursuit. Yet, the teacher was unrelenting and never wavered. The student eventually finished his class, but unknowingly gained something more from the professor in return. In the end, it was the professor who was able to tap into the student and lead him towards discovering his true potential. I couldn't have asked for anything more, and I am thankful for it. Please give Mr. Rodrigues a round of applause.
First of all, I'm honored and appreciative to receive this recognition. What more can I say? In my classroom, I try to bring out the best of my students. But at the same time, too, they bring out the best in me. I really value an education because the impact it has, not just upon me, but also on my students. I'd also like to recognize some of my mentors here at Cuesta that instilled in me the importance of teaching excellence. First of all, the late Chris Thorpe, Bill Fairbanks, Lenny Erickson, and Dick Kitchman. When I first came here, they always reminded me, we're here for our students. Do not shortchange them. And I hope that the next generation of faculty that we hire will also continue those traditions. Thank you very much.
I'd like to ask Dr. Rupert to join me on the stage. Who would have thought 2 weeks ago when I met you that I was going to be inviting you up on the stage to honor you? Ron Rubert teaches biological sciences in the biology department here. What has this instructor done to I'm sorry, wrong paper. In answer to the question, what has this instructor done that is above and beyond normal expectations, an AGS member wrote, Ron Rubert is a teacher who knows how to get people interested in biology. I am not a science enthusiast, but through the opportunities he offered me, I gained a greater appreciation of the subject. He requires field trips for his class, and rather than let the students fend for themselves, Dr. Rupert is right there on the field trips as well. He even went as far as to host a field trip in his personal residence where he showed us his reptile and amphibian collections. From his friendly and approachable demeanor To his thorough grasp of the subject he teaches, Ron Rubert is an exceptional teacher. And in answer to the question, what way has this instructor influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College? The AGS member wrote, his class was very demanding. I took it my first semester back to school from taking a year off. So in the beginning I was very nervous. However, the curriculum necessary to complete the class was set up in such a way that I was forced to learn how to manage my time. The lab requirement every week as well as the reading helped me polish my study and time management skills to a level that will allow me to get through any class that I need to in the future. Please join me in congratulating Professor Rupert on his instructional excellence.
Thank you. Well, it's a very big honor. So what is the secret of success being a good teacher? I wondered that when I was a young teacher starting years ago, and I was sitting with a very famous professor, a teacher that was admired by all the students at the college that I was at. And someone asked him, do you have any secrets for success? He had been teaching 40 years. And he leaned over and said, always check your fly. Make sure it's up. So I managed over my years here to always check my fly. But what goes along with that is one of the secrets is a sense of humor, to bring that to your classroom, to your students. But what I've really learned is the success really comes from you, the students. Without you and your enthusiasm, I wouldn't be enthusiastic. So I really turn this honor back over to you. It's a great honor. Thank you.
So our final honoree tonight is Professor Joe Vasta. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight, so accepting the award on his behalf is, again, Dean of Sciences, Math, Kinesiology, Health Sciences, and Athletics, Brett Clark. So I had Professor Vasta a few semesters ago for pre-calculus, and he is entertaining, engaged, and really dedicated to his students and to his work. I think for most of us, pre-calc was a stepping stone for higher math, and he really understood that. He gave us the tools that we really needed to be able to survive in calculus. And without him, I really don't think I would be surviving in calculus right now. So I'd just like to say thank you, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening.
I spoke yesterday to Joe Vasta, and when he told me that he was going to be unable to attend, I said, I'm really very sorry, because this is such a wonderful event, and I knew that he'd be missing out on a lot, but he had other commitments that he had made many months ago, family commitments that required that he couldn't be here this evening. And so he wanted me to express thank you for nominating him, and that he is again truly touched by this honor. So thank you.
I want to first thank everybody one more time. Honorees, if you would, make your way back to the photographer for picture time. And I just want to say that all of you who have excelled in providing a service to the students here at Cuesta, I can empathize with everybody here behind me and the other students at Cuesta, and with the type of feeling that we receive from instructors like you, that honestly is something that we will probably cherish forever. I oftentimes go home going, yes, I love this. When can I go back? And at the end of the semester, it has to come to an end. But, the memory is going to always last forever. So I just wanted to say thank you. Please give yourselves a round of applause. And so, without further ado, if you'd like, there's still another full half of a sub and some pizza. So feel free to help yourselves. Thank you.